All founders are in need of a personal operating system, and especially if you're doing $1 million or more a year in revenue. See, the strategy from 0 to $1 million is very different from $1 million to 10 million or beyond. And the biggest shift that I've seen that is important in this phase is instead of doing a lot, you have to become a lot or be a lot. Now let me explain. The other day I spoke to a founder, 140 employees, 7 to 8 different businesses, and he was talking about how efficient he was, how he got so much done, and he didn't really have any problems. I mean, he was well off, but he had a much bigger goal where he was going for. So in comparison with the bigger goals, he had a lot of problems. And he gave me an example of his friends that came over spontaneous, and that's why the next day he was able to execute less and get less done. And that is exactly when I stopped him and I asked him the question, how much time of your week, if you have to give it to me in percentage, are you focused on executing, doing stuff, in meetings, and just working on the tasks that you have on your list, versus being strategic, strategizing, thinking, slowing down? His answer was 80 to 90% execution, doing the work. And of course, the work needs doing. But this was his biggest problem. This guy has 140 employees. This guy has so many companies. Do you think that being efficient at finishing your task list is still going to be the most effective thing he can do? Of course not. If he's got one important insight and he implements that insight onto his company, and now his whole company is 10% more efficient. That's 140 times 10%. You can never outrun that by being efficient in finishing your tasks. So being a better leader helps you to make better decisions to ultimately change the game, not only in your business, but also in your private life. And I've been able to learn this firsthand because I used to run a marketing and sales agency with around 40 to 50 people. And what I realized once I was looking at my teams was the thing that made it successful wasn't the script or the sales strategy. It was the person executing the strategy and script. And that's really when I realized that the being is more important than just the strategy that you're doing. Because think about it, you can have an amazing sales script that always scores 90% closing rate and put the wrong person on it with social anxiety. And this person won't score the same 90% closing rate as your other team members would do. And this proves that the being is more important than the doing and the strategy. And that is when I made a shift and I started to focus on myself and look where I as a leader could make adjustments to be a better leader and to impact the company in a better way. And not only for myself, I started to implement this on all my team members. And I can tell you that leadership and focusing on yourself and becoming a better leader was a game changer for us back in the days in the agency times. Now, fast forward, I started coaching and I started to implement this on my clients, and the results were incredible. People doubled their company within very short amounts of time without changing any strategy in the business. See, we always think that we need to study our competitors, our market, or maybe our team members, but we forget to study ourselves. And what if I tell you that at that level, there's the most leverage to be made? If you focus on the entrepreneur behind the business instead of the business, you'll recognize a few things. And that is that if you invest in yourself, it's an investment that will have a lifetime ROI. And you know that a better leader isn't only visible on the bank account. It's also visible in your health and your relationships, which may arguably be even more important. Because no matter what, you are already a leader. Whether you know it or don't know it, you do have friends, family, team members, clients, and people you're working and communicating with. And the question is not what you do with those people, the question is who you are and how you show up when you interact with those people. So if you're watching this video and this resonates, don't be the guy that ignores this. If you're doing $1 million or more with your agency or business, send me a message or reach out to me via the link in the description. You can book a call where we do a free session of an hour and see what the potential is that you're leaving on the table, or you can inquire to do a session with my team, figuring out your strengths, your weaknesses, so we can do more of what you're good at and less of what you're not good at or what is draining you. So schedule the meeting or send me a message, and then I'll talk to you soon.